We got so many orders over the weekend, and in today's video, we're going to be packaging them up, shipping them out, and taking a look at how much profit we made. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be packaging up all the orders that we got over the weekend, and we have quite a few. So we have 17 orders and just under $500 worth of revenue. In today's video, we're going to be packaging them up, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I paid and how much I profited on each one. And make sure to stick around to the end where I will show you guys the total amount of profit that we made over the weekend. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the movie that I want to go ahead and start with today are the ones that I got in my most recent bundle. We paid a lot of money for these, so the profit margins aren't going to be as good as some of the other ones, but they've been selling really well. So for these first two movies, we didn't profit much. How I've divided up all of the movies that I bought in this bundle was I took the total purchase price of $766 and divided it evenly between the 78 movies. Now, this makes it easy to go and put in my Excel sheet, but makes it a little bit difficult when we're talking about profit margins because some of the movies are selling for $70, some of them are selling for $10, and because we have an even purchase price, some of them on paper were losing money and others were making a ton. So with this one, they sold for $20 each, and what we actually came out with as a profit was $2.41 each, or $4.82 total. So this one, the buyer didn't pay for shipping because it was within Canada, but it was only $2 more for me to actually go ahead and get tracking, so I went ahead and did that. So $2.41 profit each isn't great, but as you guys will see with some of the other movies, we profited a lot more. So we have sold another copy of Superman. These ones are doing so well. So this one sold for $64.99. That's what I have them all listed for. Plus the buyer paid $7.99 for shipping because they're from the States. So the movie cost us $9.83, just like the other two. And we paid $12.79 in shipping. It can vary quite a bit. I had to put this one in a bigger box because it's a really big movie. And depending if they buy it on the American eBay or the Canadian eBay, the shipping's a little bit different, but so I guess technically we did lose a couple dollars, about $5 on shipping, but we more than made up for it. The profit after all the expenses was $35.75. We still have two more copies of Superman, and we've sold another one later in this video, and this was such a great purchase. I'm really glad we got these ones. So for order number 3 here, we have sold another copy of Aquaman. This is the last one that I have. So the buyer paid $19.99 for the movie plus $0 in shipping. This one's staying within Canada, and because I can send it letter mail, so I only have to use stamps, I actually offer free shipping. So I paid $9.83 for the movie, plus the stamp was $2.09, and the envelope was 25 cents. We came up with a profit of $2.66. So for this last copy of Superman, it sold for $64.99 plus $7.99 in shipping. We paid $9.83 for it, and the shipping cost us $12.76, and our profit was $35.75. So for this one, A Dog's Journey, this is the very last movie out of the new bundle that I just recently bought, and the buyer paid $9.99 for the movie plus $7.99 in shipping because it is going to the States. So because we technically paid $9.83 for all of them and the shipping cost us $7.22, we actually lost $4 on this movie. This is what I mean by averaging the total cost of the bundle by all of the movies. Doesn't really work out great, but you know, we did lose $4.18 on this sale. So if you guys missed it, this bundle actually came from a website. I bought a lot of returns. There were 78 movies in this bundle. Every single one of them were sealed. Some are a lot more expensive than others, as you guys saw with The Dog's Journey compared to the Superman ones. But so far, I believe I've had them listed for about a week now. We have sold 9 out of the 78 movies, and we've already recouped $167.40 profit. So we paid $766 for the movies. Considering we've only sold 9 of them, I think we're well on our way to paying off and getting our money back from this bundle. Next up, we have our very first video game. We have Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. This one sold for $12.99, and since they're within Canada, I offer free shipping. I paid $1.24 for this game, and it cost me $3.43 to ship it using stamps, just because it was actually over 100 grams, so it was a little bit more expensive, but we still came out with a profit of $6.23. Order number 7 is Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. I actually got this in the same bundle as the last game. The guy had PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games, a bunch of them. This one sold again for $12.99 plus $0 in shipping. I paid the same thing, $1.24 for it, and $3.43 in shipping. So our total profit comes to $6.23. Next up is Call of Duty Black Ops 1 for the PlayStation 3. The buyer paid $9.99. Another one within Canada, so $0 in shipping. I paid $1.12 for it, plus the $3.43 in shipping, so our profit came to $3.84. The next game here is Grand Theft Auto 4 Greatest Hits for the PlayStation 3. The buyer paid $11.99 and was in the United States, so paid $5.99 in shipping. I actually paid $5 for this game. This was one of the first games that I ever got. It was at a thrift store and I way overpaid for it. It also cost me $8.05 to ship, so we came up with a profit of $2.66. I'm really hoping this is the lowest of today. The next game here is Dead Space 3 for the Xbox 360. This was one I just picked up the other day. I got a bunch of games and an Xbox 360 console, all for $40. So the buyer paid $11.99 and are within Canada, so $0 in shipping. It only came out to 84 cents that I paid for this game, so we got a great deal on it. I also paid $3.43 in shipping. The profit came to $6.15. That is really, really good for a game that only sold for $11.99. There's obviously a lot of other fees, marketing, advertising, international sale fees. There's a lot of fees that go into it, but $6.15 profit is really good. Back onto the movies here. This one sold for $19.99. I typically have a threshold of $40. Anything that sells for over $40, I make sure that the buyer pays for track shipping within Canada even. So this one was under, they didn't pay anything for shipping. This one I got in a bundle for pretty cheap, $1.09, and it's actually rare. The Blu-ray's way over 100 grams, but this one has a couple discs. It's a 3D model. So it came to $3.43 in shipping with a profit of $12.28 for a movie that is great. So order number 12 was a movie called Pulp Fiction. The buyer paid $7.99. This is actually the cheapest that I list movies because I offer free shipping within Canada and the fees and everything like that. The buyer paid $0 for shipping, and this was a bit of a unique situation. So in order to go and send these letter mail, which only cost me a couple dollars, they have to be less than 2 centimeters thick. And this one was, but the envelope makes it a little bit bigger. So unfortunately, it just barely fit within the 2 centimeter limit. I didn't want to go and take the risk. This was a repeat buyer, so what I did was actually pay for tracked shipping. So I only paid 64 cents for the movie, so I got the movie for really cheap, but I did spend $8.34 in shipping, giving us a profit of minus $2.81. Like I said, I didn't want to go ahead and cancel the order, refund the buyer, and say, hey, sorry, I messed up and didn't charge you shipping. I only lost $2 or $2.81, and they got track shipping. It was a repeat buyer. I definitely think this was the right move. The next movie here is Maze Runner. I remember this one. I actually bought this one at a garage sale not too long ago. The buyer paid $8.99 plus $8.30 in shipping because they are from the States, and bought it on the American website, the American eBay website. So there's international fees and stuff like that. So I charge a little bit more on there. I paid $1 for it plus $8.05 in shipping. Our profit came to $3.15. For the next movie here, Aquaman, the buyer paid $9.99 plus $0 in shipping. This was a more expensive one. I paid $1.52 for it. For movies, I like to pay less than $1 each. When it comes to Blu-rays, I'm okay with paying a little bit more, but $1.52 is a little high for sure. $3.43 in shipping. It was 107 grams, so 7 grams lighter, and I would have only spent $2.09. Our profit came to $2.62. Next up, we have the movie Outbreak. The buyer paid $14.99 plus $0 in shipping. This one we only paid 98 cents for, so this was a great one. We paid $2.09 in shipping because it was under 100 grams, and our profit came to $9.76. The next movie we got here is Titanic. I actually have had this one for quite a while, so I'm glad that we got it sold today. The buyer paid $8.99 for it plus $0 in shipping. This was one of the cheapest movies that we got. We paid 34 cents. I got a massive bundle of movies, and I think I only paid like $100 for them. So that is why we only got it for 34 cents each. We also paid $3.43 in shipping because this one was a bit heavier. Our profit came to $2.75. And for the very last order of today, we sold Despicable Me #1 for $11.99 plus $0 in shipping. I did pay $1.12 for this movie and $3.43 in shipping, giving us a profit of $5.73. We had quite a few orders today. We had 17, it looks like. This is nowhere near the biggest weekend that I've had, but this is a really good one. And in terms of revenue, I believe we had over $480, nearly $500 in revenue. That is absolutely amazing. And I cannot wait to go ahead and sell more of those brand new sealed movies, because those are way more expensive than what I typically sell in terms of games or movies or anything. So if we can go ahead and get a lot more of those in inventory and sold, that would be amazing. So I'm just editing the video and I wanted to point out something really interesting. So I promote all of my listings, which means I advertise. And on eBay, what you can do is actually set a percentage of the final sale price that will be, paid as advertising. So you can set this to be anywhere from 2 to 100% of the final sale price to be paid in ads. I typically do 2 to 5% on all my listings. I like to do anything under $20, I'll do 5%, and anything over, I do 2%. And out of this weekend's 17 orders, 8 of them have sold from the promoted listing. So I paid my advertising fee, but I am just so happy that these ads are actually working. So how it works is if you get a sale through the promotion, so meaning someone sees the ad, they click on it, they make the purchase, you pay that percentage that you already agreed to, whether it's 2, 5, or 100%, whatever it is. If it doesn't come from that, if someone is just searching for the video game or searching for the movie and yours happens to pop up, and someone makes a purchase, you do not have to pay that ad fee. And this percentage based ad system is just so good for me when I'm selling cheap movies and games. Typically how ads work is you'll pay per view, and this can range anywhere from like 8 cents to 25 cents. And if I'm getting a couple views and I'm only selling the product for, $5, $10, I am going to be spending so much of my profit on ads. So I have tested both versions of advertising on eBay, the percentage and the cost per click. And for me personally, and for the cheaper items, I definitely prefer the percentage. So today we had a profit of $133. This is really good. This was over the weekend. I shipped out the last order at like 6 or 7 p.m. on Friday, and I just sent out these orders at about noon on Monday. So we had a full, 30 hours worth of sales, and we got 17 of them, which is pretty good. We have had a lot more. We've had 41 sales over the weekend before, but we've also had a lot less. So I think this was a great middle ground. And a lot of the brand new sealed movies that I just made a video on sold today, which I'm so happy about. And that definitely pushed up the revenue and the profit margins for today's orders. So I will probably continue doing these every week or every other week, depending on how many orders we get over the weekend. So if this is something you guys enjoy, go ahead and smash the like button and leave a comment down below, letting me know if there's anything you guys want me to change or explain more in detail. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video.